Hey guys! So I've been going to Montclair for 2 years now. This is actually my second year right now. And I just wanted to talk about some things that I like and don't like about going to school here. So hopefully if you are looking to apply or if you're deciding where to commit, this will give you some insight and make your decision a little bit easier. But that being said, please remember that this is just my personal opinion and we might have very different preferences because a lot of stuff is just personal preference. So here we have 5 pros and 5 cons of Montclair State University. And I'm speaking from the perspective of a dorming student. I live on campus. A resident. That's the word. All right, being all positive, let's start with the pros. The first great thing is all of the clubs and activities that are available to students. I really do think that Montclair offers a lot in these areas. There are tons of clubs, and if there isn't anything, you can always create a club. And even if you don't want to join a club, some of the bigger organizations do have activities almost every day that you can go to if you are bored and you don't have any classes or anything going on. Of course, all of this has changed because of COVID, but that's going to be literally anywhere you go to. Everything's on Zoom now, online. They had a few in-person things that were social distanced and they were outside. Like they had a drive-in movie theater. They had an outdoor movie when it was still warm. They had a pumpkin carving contest. So those were really fun, and going to different activities and being part of a couple of organizations really made my Montclair experience a lot better. Second of all, they have a lot of good facilities. I mean, they're not great, so if you're like a gym snob, then this probably doesn't apply. I don't really go to gyms, so I don't really know how this compares, but they have a gym and they also have an ice skating rink on campus, so you can go there and ice skate. They have a gym, they have a pool, so all of that is pretty good. Nothing too crazy, but I do think that those are some pluses. They also have free group fitness classes. My third thing is that the campus is really beautiful. It also feels pretty safe to be walking around by yourself because there's always at least some people just walking around, having fun, chatting, sitting outside, studying. So I did enjoy going on a lot of walks around campus and I felt totally safe going by myself. And it is a closed campus, so I personally liked that it wasn't in like a city where I'd have to walk through a city to get to my next class, because that would have probably made me feel not so safe. But also, I'm a weenie. Number 4, the proximity to New York City is excellent. I mean, you can get there in about 30 minutes. I don't know how long the train ride is, but I took like a little trip for like a little program with the college. We had a bus and we got there in 30 minutes. So there are buses and trains that go there, and this is great for multiple reasons. I mean, you can go there with friends to have fun. You can, go there for a weekend, try some food, or you can go there for internships or other educational opportunities. And my 5th pro is Montclair also does a lot to offer extra educational opportunities. I feel like because it's a bigger school, they are able to get these things more easily. For example, I went to Google in New York City as a little trip and it was free, and I got to kind of learn a little bit more about my major and some future career opportunities that way. I'm not gonna lie, finding pros was a little bit difficult because I am feeling pretty cynical about college at the moment, but it's really all because of COVID. I swear before COVID happened, I loved going to school there. I thought it was so much fun. Now the cons. So the first major con is that it is a commuter school, so most of the students commute. If you look at the student population, it's massive, but when you're on campus, if you're living there, it gets pretty empty on weekends because everyone commutes, and even the people that live on campus, they tend to leave for weekends and go home and visit family. So it gets pretty empty, and that's a little bit suckish because it doesn't feel as homey. You don't get that same like cozy home environment where everyone is there on the weekends to bond. So you have to go a little bit out of your way to find people that are going to be spending a lot of time there. But something that counters that is those activities that I mentioned. Montclair really works hard to try to have activities for you on the weekends, and they do what they can, and you just have to go and participate, and then you have to find someone and go, and that's what's going to make it fun. You have to try to make it fun, and then it'll be fun. You have to basically find your own fun. So yeah, that's a big con for me. Second con, it is so dang windy over there. I mean, it is like kind of on top of a mountain, and it gets really windy and cold. But yeah, it's very windy over there, and this doesn't seem like a big con to people, and sometimes it doesn't to me, but I just thought I'd mention it because no one told me about this. Like, come on. And sometimes the wind will literally push me. Like I will have to fight it, or sometimes if there's like a particular sudden gust of wind, I will almost topple over because it's so windy. It's like a wind tunnel. Oh my God. Okay. Right. Anyway, next con is that trains are pretty difficult. Everyone always talks about how great the trains are, and it is great that there's a train station on campus, but no one ever tells you that those trains don't run on weekends. So if you want to go somewhere, you have to make sure you leave on a Friday night because they don't work on weekends, which is also kind of sucky because you can't get to New York City as easily via train on a weekend, but there are buses. The other hard part is if you've never used public transportation like myself. Where I live, there's no public transportation. So I kind of had to figure it all out, and it was really difficult for me. In terms of other transportation issues, commuters say that parking is a big issue. I've never experienced that. I've never had a car on campus, but I thought that'd be worth mentioning. So if you are planning on being a commuter and not living on campus, then parking is probably going to be an issue. Number 4, the staff is super mean. And I mean like the food staff, not the professors or anything. The professors I think most of them are quite nice, but the food staff, they tend to be so mean. They'll give you so much attitude when you're just asking them to like scoop you a little bit of mashed potatoes. It's not that hard. You're not carrying 75-pound trays across a wedding hall. I know that I guess no one's really obligated to be nice, but it kind of ruins your mood if you go to get food and someone just snaps at you. But of course, this is not necessarily an all-around thing. I have encountered some nice staff that have actually improved my mood, but I will say that on the general average, whatever, the staff is pretty mean. And finally, there are often communication issues with registrar and stuff. Possibly this was a thing because they were doing a lot of construction with the registrar building, like all that stuff. But it would always be very difficult when it came to scheduling and stuff to fix problems, to get permits and stuff so that you could register for classes. A lot of times these people don't answer emails. When it comes to phone calls, they'll send you over to the next person, and that person will send you to another person, and that person will send you back to the first person. So you will have to go on a huge spree of like calling people, so many people to solve a simple problem. They make that pretty difficult for you. Well, anyway, I guess I'm done complaining with the cons. Really, it depends on what kind of school you want. Montclair definitely isn't that cozy college vibe, but it is a bit more fast-paced. Maybe if you are into like the New York City kind of lifestyle where everyone's moving, you might like that more. So those are my top 5 pros and top 5 cons for Montclair State University. Some of the cons might be pros for you, some of the pros might be cons for you. It really depends. This is just my experience. And if you have any questions about specific things with my Montclair experience, feel free to leave a comment. I read all of them and I will be definitely answering them. I really want to help you guys. I know that choosing a college can be very difficult. So if you have any requests for any other videos to make, please let me know in the comments. I really hope that this video helped you guys, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!